Budds Creek, for the 9th time this year, the Lawrence brothers finished 1-2 overall, also ending the outdoor season 1-2 in the championship standings. Hunter won the final moto of the year, but his 3-1 score was once again outgunned by Jett's 1-2, the top step on the podium. With the second 450 outdoor title now to his name, Jett's 37 outdoor wins in both classes has him already equal with Bob Hanna for 5th all-time. And although it's a bit of a time paradox of sorts, Big Brother might be working his way up to following in his little brother's footsteps. Though the little bastard will likely continue to steal all his toys. 22 races, and never out of the top 5 for Hunter. Best all time. Were it not for that pesky little brother, Hunter would be the new 450 outdoor champion and the reigning SMX champion, entering into this season's playoffs. Between them, the brothers led 279 laps over the season. Hunter had 50 of those. There have been 2 previous SMX rounds held in Concord, which, like Daytona and Indy, has its own claim on the racing capital of the world. Deep in the heart of NASCAR lies more stadium in Speedway motocross history than that. And this is a History Channel. And this is the history of 2 of North Carolina's favorite sons, victorious on their home turf. The first time Supercross came to the Tar Heel State was inarguably the best season of stadium racing ever, in 1990. And in this case, instead of a massive football or baseball cathedral, the series stopped in the relatively tight confines of Charlotte Memorial Stadium. Located on the campus of Central Piedmont Community College, the small facility was packed with the redneck masses to cheer on their hometown hero, Damon Bradshaw.
We're just about set to go. This should be a good one. Well, it should, Larry. It's the hometown advantage for Damon Bradshaw. We didn't see him in the point graphic by virtue of the injury that kept him out of a couple of races earlier in the year. But you can bet that with all these Charlottonians looking on tonight, you're going to see a lot of Damon Bradshaw up front. We're underway. We've not talked much about that, but boy, are you right. And there is Bradshaw. Whoa, he caught himself a wheelie coming down that long straightaway. Took him all the way to the wall. He came out of it all right. Jeff Ward is the leader. That looks like Matasevich right behind him on the inside. It is Matasevich. Whoa, Matasevich.
Area fans got even more than they expected, as Bradshaw engaged and came out on top in a nearly race-long battle with reigning Supercross champ Jeff Stanton. The 2 traded the lead and a bit of pain several times during the bump-and-run conflict. And the 22,700 fans on hand sounded like a crowd 10 times that size as Damon took a victory lap and stopped to salute his fans. It was a storybook tale, and Bradshaw, who was just 17 at the time, has called it the best win of his career.
If there was one, I had no idea this race was coming to a close. I don't think it flew, and I wonder if Stanton knew that he was coming to the checkered flag, and that might have been a factor for LaRocco. In any case, it made no difference in terms of the finish order up front because Damon Bradshaw had this one won. That checkered flag is all his. It's now being displayed to the rest of the field, but this place is going crazy for Damon Bradshaw.
Damon Bradshaw is about as happy as anyone I have ever seen.
This place is up for grabs, Larry. They are so thrilled to see their hometown hero win on his hometown racetrack.
I've seen him win races since he was just a mini bike rider, but I've never seen him like this. Look at the crowd. Unbelievable. Damon Bradshaw. He's the winner. Boy, is he happy. Throws the gloves out to the crowd. He's just standing in front of the crowd, just taking the cheers. Bradshaw is pumped.
Tell you what, Larry, the cheers of this crowd are as painful to the ears of Jeff Stanton as they are pleasant to the ears of this kid. Stanton got whipped tonight. He got whipped by a youngster, and the youngster's fans are now paying him tribute. This is great. Give a listen.
Oh, he's not through yet. Look at this. He's going to take another victory lap with a checkered flag. A well-deserved lap, I might add.
This kid will always remember tonight, the night he won the big race, the first ever Supercross in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Let's hear from Bradshaw.
Well, it feels really good to win here in front of my hometown, the first Supercross here in Charlotte, and I can say I won it. I had to work hard tonight, and I've had to work all year. Me and Jeff had some contact out there. It was really good racing. He put good passes on me, and I did the same to him. And I think it made it more interesting for the fans and make you all want to come back next year.
The series continued to frequent Memorial Stadium through 1995, then relocated to the infield of the massive Speedway in 1996, with a track layout reminiscent of Daytona, and much more fun to ride. Traditional Supercross obstacles built from red clay instead of deep sand. But though I was there for those races at the Speedway in the late 90s, it was the race I witnessed there in 2017 that I find the most memorable. Another young rider from the Tar Heel State, Cooper Webb, had emerged as a top rider by the time motocross racing came back to Concord in the form of the United States Grand Prix. The race would be held at the dirt track next door to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Riding for Star Racing Yamaha, Webb had a sensational MX2 showdown. Dutch visitor Jeffrey Hurlings.
Cooper Webb. Hurlings was then in third with Seawer fourth. Halfway through the race, and Faulkner fell from the lead. Cooper Webb got held up behind him, and that was enough of an advantage for Hurlings to run alongside the American and take over the lead on lap 10. And from there, Jeffrey Hurlings controlled the race. He eventually pulled out a gap of about 4 seconds over Cooper Webb, with Faulkner just falling by the wayside, but was good enough to be third. And that win in Moto number 1 for Jeffrey Hurlings not only gave him 25 points, but also his third MX2 world title. MX2 race 2, and this one under the lights of the Charlotte Motor Speedway dirt track. And it was the young MX2 debutant, Darian Sinai, who grabbed the foxhole shot from Austin Faulkner and Jeffrey Hurlings. Hurlings quickly passed Sinai to get himself in the second. Cooper Webb, meanwhile, who came around the first turn in 19th, quickly worked his way up into the top 10 and was soon challenging the top guys. He found his way down the inside of Jeremy Seawer to go third as early as lap 4. Then he had a clear track between himself and Jeffrey Hurlings, and eventually, after the short battle between the new world champion and Cooper Webb found his way into the second place with about 6 laps to go. He then repeated the move on Austin Faulkner. The crowd here erupted in North Carolina for their homeboy, Cooper Webb. Faulkner hung on for second in what was a 1-2, with Webb edging out Faulkner. Hurlings coming home third, Covington fourth. The overall, though, belonged to Cooper Webb, Jeffrey Hurlings second, and Austin Faulkner was third for Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. But the Yamalube Star Racing Yamaha rider, Cooper Webb, was your overall winner this weekend from Jeffrey Hurlings' Red Bull KTM. And Hurlings there with the gold plate, cementing his third MX2 title.
It was everything I had, as I gave it everything. It was my last ever 250 race, and to do it like that is pretty spectacular. I got a terrible start and just kept coming and was able to pass Jeffrey and eventually got Austin and was able to win in front of the hometown crowd. So just want to thank the Lord Jesus Christ, my mom and dad, the whole Star Racing Yamaha teams for a spectacular 250.
Sweeping both motos that day in the MXGP class was then Kawasaki mounted Eli Tomac.
The American had an easy route through to the lead. Eli Tomac was victorious in Moto number 2. 2 American overall victories here this weekend. Eli Tomac winning the MXGP category.
That race was 8 years ago, and both Webb and Tomac still lie in the conversation. But it is the changing of the guard in the offing. When SMX made its debut in 2003, Chase Sexton won the first, still on a Honda. Jett Lawrence won the second, after returning to the fray from injury, outdueling Eli in a series of scintillating exchanges. And I probably can't show you much of either without incurring the wrath of failed NBC. Let's find out. Yep.
For the first time ever, the Super Motocross World Championship is underway because Chase Sexton has won the first ever 450 Moto in SMX. To answer back and win the first ever SMX 450 race, it goes to Chase Sexton. Lawrence struggles in race 1, recovers for second in race 2.
Be a threat, sure.
Absolutely. So here we go. 450 SMX, race 1. Oh, Eli Tomac makes the move.
Yeah, Eli's back. Eli's back. Great start by him. Great.
A big lead. The crowd's loving it. I saw Eli yesterday. I said, you like tracks like this, don't you? And he said, oh, yeah. And he has proven it. ET3 is back. Eli Tomac going to score the Moto 1 win at the SMX opener. There's Jett Lawrence, 66 days out of thumb surgery, second in the first Moto. And now, we get ready to crown a winner in North Carolina. Revs are up, gates down. Not as good a start for Tomac this time.
Get on the inside. Still a pretty good start. Is that Jett Lawrence on the other side? Yeah, that's Jett up front.
Yep, Jett is going to have it on one end.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time these guys battle like this. As you mentioned earlier, so
here comes a sand double, and he's got it. Didn't even need it. You tell anyone in these stands, you're getting Lawrence and Tomac battling for the lead in the last lap. That's what they paid the ticket price for. Only 3 weeks on the motorcycle.
And on the new 25 Honda as well, so
a lot to adjust to. But one thing hasn't changed. Jett Lawrence is number 1 on the bike coming in, and he's number 1 at playoff number 1.
He's back.
Eli Tomac made last year's race in Concord exciting, as he has on certain days this year. But it's been the first winless outdoor season of Eli's 450 career. Webb, of course, took the number 1 plate in Supercross and will come in as the 4th seed. As you've just seen, Webb has had his moments in Concord, but returning to racing after a relatively minor knee procedure, will he be ready to rise to the challenge? We'll start our unlikelies there. Coop put in a Herculean effort to win his 3rd Supercross championship, but he did it in the absence of Jett. Little chance he has anything for the kid. The other Cooper, Justin, the top seed. Also unlikely. Jay Coop has never been able to compete with Jett on a 450, indoors or out. Tomac. Despite his heroics at Concord a year ago, no. Though he does ride these high-speed, jump-strewn tracks well, see Daytona, and I'd be happy to be wrong. Chase, also unlikely. His 2nd KTM season has been star-crossed and will be his last. Sexton's outdoor scorecard for this season is 1 race won and 2 races crashed out of. Chase entered the playoffs as the number 1 seed the first 2 editions of the playoffs, but fell, literally, 3rd in 2023 and 7th in 24. He'll enter the final 3 races seeded 6th, and already 8 points in arrears of Jett before the gate even drops. The most likely is big brother Hunter. Hunter actually tied with Jett in last year's playoffs on points, edged out of the tiebreaker by Jett's wins. Along with Sexton, he's the only rider not named Jett to have captured an overall in SMX. And this season came within a single point of vaulting into the top 3 seed. Instead, he wound up tied with Webb for 4th. As Webb had more wins, he gets the nod, and Hunter comes in at 5th. Jett comes in 2nd, his best seeding yet. He came into 23 as the 3rd seed, and 2024 as the 5th seed. Though Jett has already snared the only 2 SMX titles up for grabs, he entered each of those playoffs with a lower seed, a lesser advantage, and still seized the victory. It's a pattern we'll see again and again.